What's up, amazing people? Joshua August here. As you can see, I'm tapping into my Jewish roots, But anyway, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified of the weekly prophecies, videos, testimonies, films that I produce. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. As many of you are finding out or found out, I am a filmmaker working on that film down there in the playlist. It's my 4th film, hidden in plain sight, working with a bunch of awesome people on that. But if you have any film needs or videos or graphics, I do have a company. I do a lot of them myself. I did all the editing on that video. So just message me or comment. Well, this has been a very exciting week. I basically just have some testimonies to share. I saw a couple angels this week. What? And then God gave me this incredible word of knowledge, 30 years in the making. I was getting some things printed off at one of those printer stores, and a woman was waiting on me. And I'm like, God, do you have anything for her? And I got quiet, and then he said, Double Dare to me. Double Dare is an awesome TV show from the 90s with slime and all this cool thing on Nickelodeon, which I was a fan of that back in the day. Y'all remember some Double Dare? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so anyways, I look her in the eye and I'm like, hey, does Double Dare mean anything to you? And she stops for a second. She looks at me. She's like, yes, it does. Not only did she used to love this show, she actually went to try out for the show because they used to tour around. You could jump on the Double Dare. It was huge in the 90s, huge on Nickelodeon, etc. So a lot of times God gives words like that. There's layers upon layers. And when Jesus says it, like there's meaning. He's just not random. Although he'll speak to you in a fun, humorous way like myself, if that's who you are. But if you like books or if you like music, God will do all kinds of things. So check out these apples. So she said, in fact, I went to try out to be on the show, but I couldn't. It was a brother-sister kind of thing. But she couldn't get on the show because her brother wasn't old enough or tall enough. And it still bothered her to this day. And there was even a little bit of unforgiveness there, I think. So, I was just meditating. I'm like, God, what's the meaning of this? What's the hidden meaning? But what God actually wanted is for this person to forgive their brother. Because it might seem insignificant, because I could tell it still kind of stirred her up a little bit about the event, missing out on that show. But I'll tell you from experience, if you owe people money or if you have unforgiveness over decades or 5 years, it will withhold blessings from you. It will withhold promotions from you. It will withhold raises from you. Let me tell you this. I'll share my own testimony. One time, I had this lame credit card thing, and I missed a payment, and then they charged me $35, and I was in my 20s or something. I got mad, and then the fees went out through the roof. It was like one of those quick credit cards. So I was like, oh, I'm not paying these guys. So years went by, and the Lord convicted me about it. And so I hunted them down through all this stuff, and I paid it, whatever it was. And I kid you not, the next day I got promoted and a pay increase and a bump. The next day. So there's even a scripture in the Old Testament that says that your iniquity blocks God from hearing you. And this person, they had unforgiveness in their heart for a long time. And God knew that, but it was fun and humorous. There wasn't a heaviness to it. But I promise you that can block things. But anyways, just be encouraged. There's angels around us. Even in the New Testament, it came to the door and the people were like, is it Peter or Paul or whatever? And like, oh, it's just his angels. It was a pretty normal, regular event. And it was just so awesome. I can usually, if they're around, sometimes I can feel them or I just know where they are. But I actually got a quick glimpse. And I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know. I just felt like the Lord was like, I don't know if you're ready to see more than that right now. Because it was like, whoa. And then that word of knowledge, guys, 30 years in the making. 30 years ago is when that show was on. So just encourage you, and I'm stepping out of the boat, stepping out of my comfort zone, taking risks, and those were, one of those was in a public, facility, guys. It wasn't church or anything, so we're doing a lot of that. Anyways, subscribe. Going to the streets a lot. I'm always sharing Jesus. I am a filmmaker, so you can check out the films in my playlist. And there's just lots of cool things. There's music and all things like that on this channel. So subscribe and hit the bell. Love y'all. Mwah.